Hello everybody, welcome back to another pub encounter video. Reiko here. As you can see, I'm done with Teriyaki now. And now I'm on to Yorihisa. See how this goes, shall we? We have Chapter 1, Inevitable Concession. Chimes jingled overhead as I passed through the door. Good evening! Welcome back, Miss Lynn. The low lighting, the pleasant jazz rhythm playing, and bar's owner's... Let me try that again. And the bar owner's smiling face. Thanks, Switcheroo. This was Adir, the bar and place of respite I'd fatefully come across the other night. It was a veritable oasis for the soul, soothing to my weary body and mind. Who says things like that these days? I smiled wryly at the poetic thoughts as I walked over to the seats. The usually lively regulars were apparently not at the bar today. Am I your first customer tonight? I asked with a smile, somehow delighted by the thought. Switcheroo smiled deepened as he gestured to the seats further back from the counter. Unfortunately. That would be me, and coincidentally I was the second, making it the third. Looking amusedly my way were Yorihisa and Minoru. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear anyone talking, so I thought, no worries, right, Minoru? The seats are especially difficult to see. That's exactly why I like sitting here. Come join us for a little chat if you'd like. Sure, thanks. All the customers here were very kind to me. So, Chiro, bring the young lady a cherry blossom. Very well. Oh, to celebrate this meeting again, you wouldn't say no to letting me treat you a little. Yorihisa smiled a smile filled with a mature charm. It was the first time I'd ever been treated that way before, sending my heart fluttering. Seeing me blush and looking down to hide my face, his grin grew broader. Yorihisa, don't bully her too much, okay? Especially since I finally met a girl that shares my interests. I completely agree. As a lover of similar passions, I'd like to get to know you better. I blushed even harder at those words. Please, Yorihisa, take it a little slower. Yorihisa smiled happily at the sight of my reddening face. What a nice reaction to have. I like the kind of girl who's honest about how she feels. I was going to get sucked into seduction if I didn't change the subject soon. As I searched desperately for a new topic, my eyes lit on a book sitting on top of the counter. That was it. This book, is it yours? This? Yes. An old favorite. I got the urge to reread it. Do you like that book too? Yes, I've really liked all of Kaeda's Yukihiko's work since I was in high school. Well, my. What a happy coincidence, huh, Yorihisa? Do you like them too? Without thinking, I turned to Yorihisa, eyes sparkling regardless. Like Minoru had said, meeting someone who liked the same things is always great. Regardless of whether I do or not, I get a lot of chances to read his books. There's a reason for that, by the way. Yorihisa smiled, no more gently than before. Excited, I continued talking. Then, is that book too? No, this is by a different author. You'd probably recognize the title if you like reading. As he spoke, he revealed the cover. I'd seen it once on display in a bookstore. That's an impressive one. It was the first time in a while I'd had an impulse to buy a book the minute I saw a title. Yeah, the title really gets you. I've read it too. The pair's conversation continued without me. The book was a dystopian sci-fi novel covered with ominous words like massacre. As someone who hated gore and horror, it was a book I would probably never, ever read. Have you read it, Crystal? I really can't read anything scary or violent, so... You know what they say, you can't judge a book by its cover. You should try reading it once. That was easy for him to say. So what kind of stories do you like? Minoru immediately jumped in to help me. My savior. Me? Well, the kind of stories that give you a little excitement in the midst of everyday life. Those are the kind of books I like. So you'd say that meeting us has been an exciting experience. Yes, every day is full of amazing new experiences. As I lightly claimed my enthusiasm, I thought I saw the faintest smile cross Yorihisa's mouth. Oh, what a nice day. It was a weekend afternoon and I was taking a walk along a familiar route. The sunshine streaming down was warm and felt nice on my skin. But it was about time for a short break, and by chance I'd just come to a cafe. I decided to go in. It was one of my favorites. And what to eat? Kind of felt like cake. Eyeing the pretty cakes lined up at the counter, I searched for a seat. Since it was Saturday, the shop was kind of busy. Looks like there weren't any left. Maybe I'd have to come back later, huh? My eyes stopped in the back of the familiar-looking figure. Could it be Rinatsuki? Oh, hi, Crystal. Hi. I called out without thinking, not realizing it might be in the middle of work. And the man in the suit sitting across from me, was that? Hi, Crystal. You gonna greet Rinatsuki and just ignore me? Maybe hate me now after I teased you so badly the other day. What did you do this time, Yorihisa? She's just a young girl. You've got to use a little discretion. I couldn't help it after she reacted so adorably. I guess I can't make fun of Mamoru anymore. Yes, sitting across from Ryunosuke had been Yorihisa. He looked incredibly smart in that suit. Wow, he was really handsome. Would you like to join us if you don't mind? Oh, are you sure? The two of us just met by chance a few minutes ago anyway. That's about it, so come. Have some cheesecake. Cheesecake? Apparently it was in his horoscope this morning. Scorpio was supposed to be the least lucky sign today, you know. Hey! That's mine. So if it says I can turn my fate around by eating cheesecake, who am I to say no? Yorihisa continued to talk. Apparently he was the type who believed in horoscopes. So won't you please have some cheesecake with us for the sake of a good day for me? I couldn't help the smile that came to my lips. He's kind of cute. Well, I do love cheesecake. By the way, why are you wearing a suit today? Why the suits? Because I had to work at the university today. At university? Yeah. Yorihisa gives literature lectures there. A professor? That somehow made a lot of sense. That's just my side job. So you do have something else. Sounds tough. Yeah, it's really not. Both are fun and fulfilling. Wow, it's not fun to hear someone talk like that about work. Certainly not me. I hope someday I get to the point where I can enjoy my job. Work isn't at all about fun, but if you do it, you can do best to do. But if you do what you can do to the best of your ability, got a mouthful there. That's what work is. That's a CEO for you. See, who? Yorihisa. Well, what? Was it a secret? Ryunosuke, you're a CEO? Well, sort of. Don't be modest. You run a pretty big company. Yorihisa, you don't need to get angry. It's not like you're gonna lose anything if we find out. That's not the issue. He lightly looked my way. Was he trying to gauge my reaction? Sounds like you must have worked really hard. Now it's all paying off. I genuinely respect the kind of people who can do that. When I returned to Gage's smoke, he looked surprised and then looked down. I haven't done anything that deserves such praise. I just did what I had to do. So don't you give up either. I won't. I could see his ears were red. Was I embarrassing him? What is this? I wish you two wouldn't go off to your own little world and leave me out. Yeah, it's your own fault for being so nosy. Why not talk about yourself for a change? Guess I could. I work as an author. An author? Really? Instead of replying, Yorihisa only cast a discomforting smile my way. An author? Like they sell your books at the bookstores? I couldn't believe I'd been talking so casually to a real author. Only popular enough to keep food on the table, though. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm nervous all of a sudden. Wonder what kind of stories he wrote. What's your pen name? He won't tell you. I like books too, so I've been asking ever since I found out he was an author, but why don't you give up and tell us already? Ryunosuke narrowed his eyes as he looked at Yorihisa, but Yorihisa made no reply. Please? I'd love to read some of your books. It's not easy to reject a sweet request like that. Since I already outed Ryunosuke, I might get accepted this once. Thanks! My other name? Really to guess it slipped through my mind. I wish he'd hurry up. It's Kaida Yukihiko. Huh? I never processed what he just told me. My brain shut down. What did he just say? Kaida Yukihiko? Beside me, Ryunosuke was also taken aback with astonishment. You're Kaida Yukihiko? Even after I tried saying the words aloud myself, I couldn't process it. That was my favorite author. That meant... Really? I wouldn't lie about that. It's no fun to tell lies that are fake. Clearly fake anyway. No way. He was actually my favorite author? Is it really hard to believe? Would you believe me if I showed you some of my work? Yorihisa started scrounging his backpack. He was telling the truth. Why the hell have you been hiding that from us? How many times have I talked to you about Kaida Yukihiko? I like hearing your honest opinions of my work. If I told you who I was, I wouldn't get to hear that. That's why I didn't tell you. Are you a Kaida Yukihiko fan too? I've read every single book since the first one came out. Me too, I loved all of them. You should be telling me that instead of him. I loved all your books. That's honest enough. Which one did you like best? I thought back. I've been utterly absorbed in all of them, but there was one in particular that stood out. Eternal Love. A romance novel released about 5 years earlier. I really enjoyed that one. You like Kaida's romance novels too? You mean you like them? I'd always assumed most Kaida fans were sci-fi types. You like romance too, huh? Yes. Every time I finish reading one, I'm filled with this wonderful feeling. Kind of like I'm sharing the same kind of existence as the main character. I know what you mean. But Eternal Love was different, wasn't it? All of his other books have been about happy endings. But that one, it was a story of loss. You're both serious readers, aren't you? I'd never imagined anyone paid that much attention to my work. I just really, really love your books. Thanks. You gonna write any more romance stories? Good question. Not really sure yet. As he answered vaguely, a sad look crossed his face. A few days had passed. I hadn't seen him since. After work, I'd been coming straight home to dive into reading The Eternal Love. Though I'd read it countless times, I still cried at the ending. I didn't know any other love story could touch me that way. Another Yuki love story. What I'd give to read one. Chimes rang out as I swung the door open. Welcome to our dear Miss Lynn. Hello, Soichiro. I carefully scanned the room. You looking for someone? Oh, let me guess. Yorihisa. How did you... If it's him you're after, what did you want to see me for? I effectively jolted in the direction of the voice. He was at unpopular table. Again, he carried a book in each hand. Good evening. Maybe I was a little nervous, because I swore I sounded funny. Embarrassing. I haven't seen you in a while. I thought maybe you were avoiding me. Of course not. After I really read the book again, so... Did you stay up all night reading? He'd come over and now reached his hand toward my face. Those are some serious dark circles under your eyes. You should take care of yourself. His left hand touched my cheek, his thumb sliding in a gentle caress across my lower eye. That small gesture alone caused me to turn bright red. Another cute reaction. Come, chat with me a bit. Okay. I was fine when he took my hand and led me to a seat, but why did he have to... His body heat at my back sent a scorching fire in my own body. You're cute. What is it? Are you nervous? Of course I am. I just want to sit in a chair like anyone else. Nope, I don't want to let you go. It's your own fault, you know. Huh? My fault? What do you... I ran out of words when I noticed he had been holding the book I was obsessed with. Since you and Rinosuke seemed to like it so much, I thought I'd try to read it myself. It sounded like he'd never read his own book. As if he'd noticed my suspicion, he grinned. This is the only one I never once read through after finishing it. It brings a lot of old memories. Memories? When you live a long time, you accumulate a lot of experience, including things you feel like you have to write about. He was somehow acting different compared to usual, but I feel like I understood what he meant. The fear of losing one or two parts of a life of bliss. I wondered what had happened to make him want to write about it. I put my own hand on top of the arm that was wrapped around me. Thanks for writing it. Every single book I read's had an impact on the way I think. I know it might not mean much. Please, cheer up. I looked up at him right behind me. Our eyes met and he smiled. Why are you smiling? I was honestly worried. Sorry. I was just happy you said that. Anyone would get worried after you did something like this to them. You think? What if all I wanted was to just touch you? Like this. Just as he whispered in my ear, his hand moved to the top of my leg. Ah, you really are too adorable. Stop that. Don't tease me like that. I know. Why don't we play a game? A game? Of course, there'll be a prize for the winner. So if you win, I'll grant you a wish. As long as it's something within my ability to do, of course. You'll grant me a wish. Yep, anything at all if you win. Anything? Seriously? One desire popped into my head. I wish only he could do. I want to read another kind of Yukihiko romance novel. One of mine? Can I ask for that? Sure. After a short hesitation, he agreed. I was already thrilled, though I had no idea if I could even win. You have to promise you can't go back and change your mind. Same for you. I won't. There's no way I'd do that. But if I win, I'm not going to write another romance novel, alright? What? He was so nonchalant. If I lost, I felt the blood drain from my face. Don't look at me like that. Just win and you don't have to worry about it. There's always a small amount of risk involved in going after what you want. I understand. I accept the terms. I couldn't back down now. I really wanted to read another romance novel so bad. A love story written by this guy. Guess I had to come to that. I'd expect nothing less. But don't forget, I really don't want to lose either. I'm going to give it all I got. So what kind of game we playing? Game of love. Huh? I found myself speechless at the words. A game of... What? A titillating game where the first one who falls in love loses. Fun, don't you think? He planted a kiss in my hair as he spoke. Totally unable to process what was going on, I sat there unable to move. Ooh, what do I do? I uttered the phrase for the 1,000th time, my face buried my favorite cushion. Even as I asked myself, I knew there was actually no choice. But... A game of love. A titillating game where the first one who falls in love loses. Fun, don't you think? I am not good enough at love and romance to play that kind of game. Though I struggled with all my might, I couldn't find a solution. I wanted to read another one of his romance novels so bad. But with him as an opponent, I was pretty sure my chances of winning were dismal. I mean, I was going against Kaida Yukihiko. The fret of my phone suddenly let out a shrill noise. It was a text message. When I checked, it was from Yorihisa. You ready? I'll wait for you in the park near the bar. Come whenever you're prepared. I wasn't prepared at all. There's no way I could say so now. The game had already begun. Near the bar, I must have been in the right spot. I unintentionally ran all the way there. I hoped I didn't look too disheveled. As I fixed my hair and clothes, I looked around for a sign of him. Did you run here just for me? Before I could spot him, I heard him at my back. Startled by the whisper in my ear, I jumped in confusion. Fortunately, he trapped me in his arms. There's no need to get so excited, though I'm really glad I got to see you surprised that way. He was now even closer than before. Too close. I didn't want to be late. I tried to speak normally, but the stuttering speech betrayed how flustered I was. Today it's only for practice. You don't have to be so nervous. He grinned at me, amused. Give me your hand. Let's have some fun. I had a million things I wanted to say, but all I could do was gently take his hand. He smiled, entertained by my attitude. I could feel my cheeks flush. Already this worked up. Was there really any way I could win this game? There we go. That's chapter 1 done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time with whatever. Bye!